wrote a book on leadership that focused on character as the central attribute. What made you settle on that? With all the skills and attributes that we talk about with leadership, why did you focus on character as a fundamental attribute?
Well, first of all, Mike, thanks. I would just say first I co-authored the book. Mike Matthews was the other author, and he did a great job. And I was leaving West Point maybe a couple months out, and the professor from the Behavioral Science Leadership Department sent me a note and said, "Hey, sir, I am writing a book on character because we teach it here at West Point, and I was wondering if you could be the co-author." And I hadn't put any thought into that. And I said, "Yeah, I'd love to, because I just know that character is the most important element in effective leadership. If you fail in character, you fail in leadership. It's simple as that." So how character plays within a leader, and I've experienced both the good and bad of that. So I'm not just talking about, what it ideally ought to look like. I'm speaking from both good and from bad, and the impact character has on success or failure within a mission. So when he offered the opportunity to write the book, I said, I'm all in it. He was the doctorate. He was a doctor and a great instructor and professor. So he wrote the theory in the book. My job was to write the examples and the personal examples and the stories. We had plenty of them to balance out all the different theories that he was talking about. So the book is The Character Edge. It's been out for about 5 years now, and it's on Amazon, so you're welcome to get it if you get a chance.
Well, the thing I love about that is I think all of us have probably encountered it, the difference between people who talk theory and people who know how it works in practice. And I love the fact that you and Dr. Matthews were able to come together and balance those two things. You know me, I'm all about the balance thing, but that's the best of all worlds, right? To combine the theoretical with the practical, because you got to, if it doesn't work in the real world, it's no good. All right, so you mentioned it, but let me ask you. So you talked about the good and bad aspects of character. So let me ask you, if someone has a defect in character, can they overcome that? And if they can, how do they do that?
Yeah, that's a great question. Leadership, in my opinion, is about sticking your head into areas you're not familiar with. You're likely liable to make some mistakes, and then you make the mistake, you learn from your mistake, and you grow and become better as a result. Sometimes those mistakes are character issues. And are they the kiss of death, and do they require you to leave altogether? In a lot of cases they do, because it's pretty egregious what had taken place. One thing that I really learned and appreciated when I was a superintendent at West Point is that I had the responsibility as a superintendent to adjudicate all honor violations of the cadets. And by adjudicating, we would take, based on the grievances or how they had reacted, we would take different type of programs. Sometimes they would just continue. Other times they would have to repeat a semester. Sometimes we pulled them out from the cadetship, stuck them, made them privates in the United States Army, put them into the Army for a year. They were evaluated and assessed, and then they had to earn the right to be readmitted. And then they graduated, a year or 2 years after their original class. In every case, they were given a mentorship program. And the mentorship program was designed to reflect on what you did and why, and how do you become better as a result. And then they had to come back to me with their chain of command to talk about what they learned through the reflection from the remedial and mentorship program. And they even were assigned a mentor. And some of those mentorship programs were a year or 2 years long. Even the ones that went in the Army were assigned mentors. And what I found in almost every single case was that they were stronger in integrity and stronger in ethics than they were even before they had made the mistake. It's like breaking a bone. If you break a bone and it heals correctly, you become stronger as a result. Their character had a defect, but they learned and they became better, and they learned from their mistake, and they became better and stronger, and they were great advocates of why this was so important. And they were our strongest cadets in integrity and our strongest cadets in ethics and honor. Were the ones that had committed an honor violation and then that successfully recovered. Not all of them recover, but most of them, when they go through that mentorship program, it's amazing to see how they come out there. So answer your question, that's a long answer, Mike, but the answer to your question is yes. I mean, you can recover from a defect in character. As a matter of fact, you can become stronger in character if you recover the right way. It's got to be done the right way. You got to reflect. You got to take ownership of what happened and what you did, and you got to be able to commit yourself to, through the reflection, to do the necessary steps to recover. And those that come out of that, like I said, are stronger as a result.